question that we get most often is,
how do we finish the food?
well, we end up with a lot of food, especially when we do all the experiments and the videos and all that, and end up with a lot of large pieces of meats. Today we'll show you 3 methods on how we reheat and repurpose leftover roast beef.
If you're new to kind of cooking, we do sous vide recipes and experiments, so if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe.
And press the bell button so you know when we have a new video. Number 1, reheating.
The first method that we do is we just eat it. We have leftovers of other side dishes, whatever. And so we just reheat the big chunk of meat. So everyone knows that when you have beef, you put it in the microwave, you pan fry it, like it never comes out the same.
It's like dry.
It's like gray and weird. So the easiest method is to put it back into the sous vide for about 30 to 45 minutes at a temperature that's a couple of degrees lower than you had originally put. So this beef was done at 135 and I reheated it at about 130. As long as it's below 135, you'll be fine. So you want to give it a try?
Yeah.
Someone's going to tell me to get a sharper knife. And you can see the meat is still perfectly cooked through all the way and you don't need to worry about messing it up.
All right.
Just as tender. If you haven't seen our recipe for roast beef, check it out.
So Kevin loves his grilled cheese. And when you add roast beef into it, that will make it next level.
For me, a sandwich, a grilled sandwich needs to be white bread.
Wonder bread, white bread.
Yeah, but this is me compromising because that's what people do. And because Carmen's bread is like bird food, it's like just seeds everywhere.
The problem with white bread is that I eat it an hour, not even, like 30 minutes later, I'm hungry again. So I need something with like real fiber, low GI index, you know, to last me.
What is that low GI index? What I do is I actually put it on both sides of the bread.
Put what on?
Put mayonnaise on both sides of the bread. You can also use butter, you know, the old school way. Butter is fine. That goes down. One in, mayo in and on.
We use a lot of mayo.
I'm gonna put salt on the side that's up right now. Sometimes if I have mustard, I'll put mustard on as well on the first side that I put down. So the first side that I put down is the side that's on the inside. I like to crisp both sides. I find my cheese melts better, everything just works better. And in terms of cheese, today I have Havarti and mozzarella. I want that pull factor and all that, and my roast beef, I sliced it as thin as I possibly could. If I had more time, I probably would use my meat slicer, but we're in a pinch.
For this, you can go as simple or as fancy as you want. You can add things like peppers, sauteed onions, mushrooms, but we'll keep it simple today.
See the bottom. Ooh, a little bit too dark, but it's okay.
Nah, it looks fine.
So that side is that. You want to go about medium heat. We're gonna put our cheese on now. It's pretty hot. Okay, depending on how you've seasoned your meat, you might want to add a little more salt or not. It's totally up to you. So you don't want to be too hot right now because you don't want to burn. You need some time for your cheese to melt. And on this side, I'm putting mozzarella. If I'm making the sandwich, it's gonna be a lot of cheese. You know, the cheese is pretty much melted. It was not gonna fall off when you flip it on to the other side.
Ooh.
See? Now you wait.
The flame's not on. I was like, why is this taking so long?
If there's places that are not brown enough, put a little more mayo. You know, you need to make sure all corners are covered. Flippity flip flip.
Ooh, there you go.
There's a cheese ball.
Everything died. A camera died. I heard a sound. Alright, so if I was to make the leftover beef, I would definitely put it in noodles because noodles are my favorite food. 干炒牛河, which is the dry fried rice noodle, is a super popular Cantonese dish.
My favorite.
Yeah, but that is actually
The only noodle I like.
But that is actually very
Can I
hard.
cut you off again?
No, stop it. But that is actually very hard to recreate at home because you need super high heat to get that wok hei flavor. So today we're going to make an alternate version, which is called sub chao ngọc ho, a wet fry beef rice noodle.
Yep.
That you can be a little bit more creative, and then you have a little bit more leeway with the heat issue. And also the highlight of that dish is about the tenderness of the ingredients, and our beef is already reached that with the sous vide, so this should be pretty straightforward. We have some fresh rice noodles. We'll make that first.
Noodles in.
So when you're frying this, add a little bit of water on the edge so it wouldn't get stuck together. Cook to soften, you can add the flavor in there. So this will be the base flavor of the noodle.
Soy sauce.
That's enough. Oyster sauce. We try to be environmentally friendly and don't use saran wrap as much. So we got these covers, and we actually cut down a lot of saran wrap usage with these. All right, let's cover these up. Put a little bit of oil in your pan. Fry the garlic up. And also these are black beans, which we have already soaked, chopped up to release the flavor. Soak for like 5 to 10 minutes. We're making a garlic black bean fried noodle. Add the onions. We'll stir fry that until fragrant. Add some wine there. If you have leftover beef broth from your sous vide beef, you can add that in for your sauce. Let's flatten it out a bit. We'll add enough beef broth just to even. If it's not enough, let's add some water as well.
Scrape the bottom of the pan.
Yeah, add a little bit of soy, add a little bit of oyster sauce, add a little bit of white pepper. I'll add a little bit of sugar to balance out the black bean. Yeah, that's good. So once it bubbles, that's when you can add the beef.
So we've cut these pretty thinly, so they don't need too much time to warm up.
We have a cornstarch slurry ready, and this would thicken it up and make a nice sauce for our noodles. All right, when it's all done, turn off the heat and then add a little bit of sesame oil. You don't really want to cook sesame oil because that changes the flavor. Ooh, good. Mix it in.
Okay.
So tender.
It's a little more cooked, but I think in Chinese cooking is mostly cooked all the way through.
The noodles are all like
Saucy.
nice and saucy. I got sauce on my face.
This is the third way, and we had our 3 ways: warming it back up in the sous vide, making a melt, and our noodles. But I think the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, let us know how you like to eat your leftover roast beef.